The infinite universe is eternal. It has no beginning nor end. Life is eternal. It has no beginning nor end. The Creator has always been and always will be, for our Creator is creating the creation every moment of every day throughout eternity. Time is the measure of motion and has always existed. There is no end to time, nor an imagined heat death of the universe as claimed by academia, because the universe never had a cataclysmic beginning, nor will it ever end. The fallacious ideas which have supported the false theory of a Big Bang, the so-called redshift of light, universal expansion, and an entropic heat death of the entire universe have been debunked in great detail since their tragic and ill-conceived inception.
The illusion of death is based on man's limited senses, which cannot see the periods of rest which man calls death, before physical life manifests again in the never-ending cycles of what humans have always called life and death. The false theory of a Big Bang was created by the Catholic priest Lamaitre to support the religious myth of Genesis, where it was claimed that the anthropomorphic male Hebrew God created the universe when he spoke the words, "Let there be light."
Failure to recognize that this universal body of moving matter has been created by some power outside of itself has led science to conclude that the energy which created matter is within itself. Even more erroneous is the conclusion that energy is a condition of matter, such as heat. This fallacy has led to the conclusion that creation will disappear when heat energy runs down. The first and second laws of thermodynamics are built upon this obviously wrong conclusion. The universe will never run down. It is as eternal as God is eternal. The basis of creation is the light of mind which created it. God is the light of mind. God's thinking mind is all there is. Mind is universal. Mind of God and mind of man are one. This eternally creating universe, which is God's eternally renewing body, is the product of mind knowing expressed through mind thinking. In the light of God's mind is all knowledge. All knowledge means full knowing of the Creator's one idea, which is manifested in His creation.
This universe of matter in motion is a mind-conceived, mind-creating body. As such, it is as much a product of mind as a pair of shoes, a poem, a symphony, or a tunnel under a mountain is a product of the mind which conceived it and motivated the action which produced it as a formed body of matter. The poem is not the poet, however, nor is the symphony its composer. In a like sense, this universe is not its own creator, nor is the idea which matter manifests within matter. Idea is never created. Idea is a mind quality. Idea never leaves the omniscient light of mind. Idea is but simulated by matter in motion. The undivided and unconditioned light of mind is an eternal state of rest. That invisible light of the Spirit is the equilibrium of absolute balance and absolute stillness, which is the foundation of the divided and pressure-conditioned universe of motion. In that light there is no change, no variance of condition, no form, and no motion. It is the zero universe of reality. In it are all of the mind qualities of knowledge, inspiration, power, love, truth, balance, and law, which are never created, but are simulated in moving quantities in the divided universe of moving waves, which we call matter.
Cause is eternally at rest in the balanced unity of undivided light. Cause is one. Effect is eternally in motion to seek balance and rest in the centering equilibrium of the two opposed lights of this divided universe, which it finds only to lose. Effect is two. The light of cause, divided into two opposed lights of effect, is the one sole occupation of mind, which we call thinking. Mind thinking sets divided idea into two-way opposed motion to produce the effect of simulating idea by giving form to it. Form bodies are but pressured conditioned motion, however. They are not the idea which they simulate.
We live in two universes, the invisible zero universe of cause and the visible universe of effect. We have sensed the effect and believed in its reality. We have never yet known the universe of cause. It is time that we begin to know God's invisible universe, which is in absolute control of the visible universe. Man will never solve the riddle of the universe until he fully knows and comprehends the zero universe, which he can in no way hear or see. He can know it, however, and in so knowing he can likewise know God. He can even prove the fact of the omnipresent God in his laboratory. Nor shall man ever solve the riddle of his own self, his own identity, until he knows that he himself is as eternal as God is eternal.
That which man calls life in bodies is accelerative motion only. The centripetal motion of interchanging wave vibrations between two poles which have been extended from the one of their source. It is the accelerative motion of centripetal force which generates and contracts. Science has long been searching for the life principle in some germ of matter. It may as well cast nets into the sea to search for oxygen.
That which is called death is just the opposite half of the whole life cycle. It is the decelerative motion of centrifugal force which degenerates, decays, and expands. Life is eternal. There is no death. Life is but simulated in matter by polarization-depolarization sequences, as all idea of mind is but simulated in thought waves of moving matter.
Man conceives the idea of life and death of his body as a beginning and ending of the idea of himself. Back of that concept is the belief that his body is himself. There is no beginning or ending of any effect in nature, for there is no beginning or ending of cause. Cause is eternal. Effect is eternally repeated.
Man's body is an eternally repeated effect of its cause, which is eternal man. Man is an idea, a part of the one whole eternal idea. Idea is unchanging. Bodies alone change. Idea is never created. Bodies alone are created to manifest idea. All bodies are sequential repetitions of effects. All effects in nature rise from the zero of eternal rest to manifest idea through action. They do this for a period of time, then they lie down to rest before again going into action. There is no exception to this principle in all the universe of mighty stars and microscopic particles.
All actions of all bodies are always under the control of mind which caused them. Bodies have no power to move through their own initiative, for they have no energy or initiative of their own. Initiative is extended to bodies by the universal mind which controls them.
Eternal identity is never created. The idea which man is never created. It always retains its dimensionless zero in the cathode of itself. That body, which man thinks of as man, is a moving light image which is projected from the dimensionless point of man's eternal self. The projected light is mirage. It is a series of repetitions and reflections projected through invisible cube wave field mirrors.
That which is transient in motion is eternal in the translucent light of the inert gases, which divide the magnetic light of mind to produce pairs of electric bodies. These inert gases record all effects of creative thinking upon their four rings as precisely as the rings of a phonograph disc records extended effects.
The projected image of a baby begins by the unfolding of the eternal record of itself. which eternally exists in God's mind universe. All of the thousands of detailed forms of cells and body parts are but repeated extensions of eternally existent thought conceptions. If you will but realize their oneness in the light which they are, you will fully understand that the body of man is but a projected thought image in motion of an eternal thought image in God's mind. That being so, can you now fully comprehend that man cannot die?
This is a universe of eternal repetition of pulsing thoughts, which are ever being repeated. In the cosmic sense, reincarnation and repetition mean the same thing. For nature is eternal, it is endless and beginningless. The idea of death, or of identity, or of being killed, is a conclusion of the senses of the body. Such a thought is impossible for the knowing mind of the cosmic mystic.
Who are you, therefore? Are you not all that has ever been? And will there ever come a moment in all future ages in which you are not eternally living among eternally living mankind to make it a part of you? If you thus reason, can you not see the great confusion which exists in man's minds, or senses rather, because of mistaking immortality for mortality?